Hand off to Jacobson right there. It's going to set up 4th and 4, field goal range indeed. Clock stops thanks to the timeout. CHP had to burn them all. Kick is up from Skoman. That could be essentially the dagger, setting up 16-3.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, that play by Mike Hawk was the dagger, getting him into that range. There's nothing else to really say about it. Giving up those yards was deadly.
It's going to be 1st and 10 here. Looking for some yardage, looking for some points. At the end of the tunnel is going to be Bridges, pass left side, caught by Fowler, and he tried to turn upfield, but I believe his foot stepped out of bounds. They mark him at the 40. See right there, Isaiah Fowler with 11 targets on the day. Only getting 50 yards out of it. That pass is no good. It's going to be 3rd and 2.
Efficiency just not quite there yet. The awareness needs to go up a little bit more, and also maybe the hands just a bit.
Yes, and it's going to be no good on that play as well. 4th and 2 coming up here for CHP.
Well, this is do or die.
If they can't convert it, it's over. Bridges looking, and no one home, and Bridges could not do anything with that pressure up the middle, force that one. And I think we could give this one up to Mile High, and this one two national championships in their mantle is coming for them. Good job.
Yep, back-to-back champions, not first in either league that anyone can claim.
Mile High has been the cream of the crop since the beginning. Had real good records in the beginning stages of season 1 of the CSFA. They came out with the 2nd best record this time around, and then they still end up finding a way to get the victory once again when the lights were brightest. So you got to give them all the credit in the world. Shout out to that white guy for getting his team in check from really the beginning.
Absolutely. I mean, it really helps when you've got 2 of the best running backs in the game running the ball for you.
Hey, talent can only go so far. You got to make sure that you make sure that you're putting the players in the right spots and the right formations. And I've been talking to him a lot. He's been doing his research. He's been doing really nice with his strategies, and I've been giving him all the credit in the world. But we are at the end of the CSFA National Championship game. Final score 16-3 in favor of Mile High. Central Houston had a solid start to their game, but had some miscues later that forced their hand for Mile High to take this victory. What are your thoughts on this game so far on the Central Houston side?
Well, I think the reason they lost is they failed to get Vic Dotson involved in the offense. When you take your star player, your star connection out of the game, you're basically shooting yourself in the foot.
Big facts on that. I did mention, like, in the later parts of the 4th quarter, they elected to go 5 wide instead of going for the 4 wide, 1 tight end sets. And usually those are the plays where he comes in the clutch in those later parts of the game. So you got to make sure you have him on the field. Kind of a bad time in regards to the play calling on that side. I know they're in there, but that is how the cookie crumbles. Can't just blame it off of that later part of the game. Had a full 4 quarters to work with.
Yep, absolutely. And I mean, I could understand going 5 wide at the end there, but not getting Vic Dotson involved in the first 3 quarters might have been a big mistake.
Yes, indeed. I'm going to check out the player stats in just a little bit. You see the team stats here. Mile High definitely led the way in regards to the total plays, almost having more rush plays than Central Houston Polytechnic had total plays. So that tells a good amount of the story there. Over 100 yards more than their opponents. And you see right there, the 5 sacks isn't going to hurt their cause either.
Yeah, I don't know. Ball control is such a huge part of this game. The more you control the ball, the more you hold on to the ball, gives the other team obviously less time to work with it. So,
James, we seen a little bit of a battle between Beast and Venom a little bit earlier about which quarterback was the best. 38%, definitely not good, but you can't be too mad if you get the victory. And he's going to get his second what's the word I'm looking for, national championship on his side as well. You see right there, 10 for 25 between Sean Bridges and what he was doing there. So not the greatest quarterback play, but you got to give advantage to James West there.
yeah, I mean, again, I said this earlier, the reason I think Sean Bridges is the perennial quarterback of the year is he gets a lot of volume. Um, that is their identity. And of course, you're going to be a good quarterback when you throw all the time. You're going to rack up yards and touchdowns. And that's not to discredit uh, Bridges. He's still a phenomenal quarterback making plays. It's just Venom. I don't. James West. My apologies. He just doesn't get that kind of volume
Mm-hmm.
with the style of offense that Mile High runs.
But you also got to take into account the pieces around you matter because
Absolutely.
we do have a USFA team that runs a similar style in Arizona, and it kind of bit them up when they played against their playoff opponent Huntington Beach. But you know that Dominique two times is a big passer as well. You see he gets around like 40 some attempts it's 40 some attempts a game. So, you got to have those pieces to make the pass game efficient. For the most part this season, he's definitely had that. Speaking about Sean Bridges, but this time around just didn't work out. You got to give credit to that Mile High secondary, getting them, uh, making sure that all of his passes were not, or not all his passes, but like a majority of his passes were very, very difficult to make. We've seen a lot of catches in traffic from all the receivers, a lot of people around that ball when that receiver catches it.
Well, not just the secondary, but the pass rush really stepped up their game, getting how many sacks? Five?
I believe it said 5 on the team setting, yes.
So, I mean, that alone speaks volumes of just how much pressure Bridges was under all game.
And you see right there, 11 targets to Fowler, only 2 to Dotson on this one. See right there, even Vic Sequin had more targets than him, along with their newly acquired wide receiver Kevin Lee. So that's 3 different receivers. To make that 4, if you check out Chad two times, that had more than their best receiver, and that was a little bit of a spread there outside of Fowler, but definitely got to get at least 5 or 6 if you're trying to make some big yards.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind them giving a spread, but obviously you got to feed your stars a little bit too.
Mm-hmm. Going to check out these statistics here really fast. Clicking through all of our users. As you see, AB doing his thing, 1 tackle. I believe that's about it. No, we got Sugioto, and we also have Booker, the homie, doing his thing on the other side. Let me check here. Jordan Vinny had 4 tackles. Andrew Flugel had 4 in the TFL. Um, Calvin Thomas had 3 in a sack. And let me see, there's a couple more. Anderson, a couple tackles with a couple of sacks. He had a real big game with those sacks. Let me see, Jalen Smith doing his thing with 1. And I believe, nope, I got Pack. Forgot about Pack right there. 1 tackle there. Good job by the freshman there. But outside of that, I believe we're all good here, Cab.
Yeah, that would just about wrap it up. Thank you guys all for coming out and supporting us. And thank you for coming out and watching the Season 2 National Championship game. Congratulations to Mile High University on the back to backs. And best of luck on the three-peat.
Most definitely. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up here. Looking forward to our final game of season 2. It's going to be the red versus blue matchup, and I'll be sure to put the right jerseys onto the field this time around so I don't get yelled at. And yeah, so make sure you look out for our final game of season 2. We got Tacoma and Huntington Beach to close out season 2. It's going to be a good one. Both of the games up to this point this season were comeback victories by the other team. So I can't wait for that one. It's going to be sweet. But outside of that, I think we could go ahead and wrap it up here. It's your boy Stacks the Racks and Caboose doing our thing. And we'll see you tomorrow for our final game. Talk to you later.
Adios.